What are you drinking?
It's called a Cherry Glider Cider. Or it's called Cherry and it's by Glider Cider. It doesn't matter.
Do you know how I know you're gay?
Because of all that dick I suck. Hello, welcome back to the Salty Soup Podcast. This is episode 11. I'm kind of ashamed that we didn't do... it was a great episode, obviously. We only put out bangers. But if I would have known it was episode 10...
Last time,
maybe Dick's out or something. I don't know.
I know. I was trying to figure out ways to commemorate
milestones,
my little milestones in the account, and I was even talking to you about how I love how we have a funny joke in the very beginning to kind of get you going in this podcast. And it reminds me of The Office, because The Office would always put a 1 minute, 2 minute little joke, little clip in there, and then they'd start the episode. It was somebody messing with Dwight, putting the stapler in the in the Jello, and I could literally go through Netflix or whatever and watch every just beginning 2 minute clip of The Office, because it's just a banger joke. I'm gonna guarantee love it,
Right. It gets the people going.
I was wondering about doing that with our, commemorating a milestone in the podcast, putting out those intros again just to get those laughs, but I don't know. The highlight video was kind of a bust from the last one. I don't know if a whole lot of people really cared.
No, I think that the highlight video is interesting, because the idea behind the podcast highlight video was someone didn't have to sit down and listen to the whole podcast episode. Here's some quick, funny things from the first 4 episodes of the podcast.
Right.
Maybe to get people enticed to watch the podcast.
A little bit of the gold content, some good shit.
Yeah, but I have a feeling that it was more that gets released, people see a highlight podcast, and they're like, well, I don't watch the podcast, so...
Yeah.
I think it had the opposite effect of what we were going for on that.
Uh-huh. That's all right, though. I'm excited about this channel, man. I'm hoping by the time this new episode 11 comes out, we'll be up to maybe 100 subscribers.
That'd be sick. Currently, today, we're at 85.
85, which it really feels like we're starting to get 5 or 10 a week now or something, man. It's just this. It's like a little snowball starting right now, and we're starting to roll it down the hill,
Yeah, YouTube's kind of interesting because... you can definitely tell that there's a time frame where people are using YouTube, because we'll go, I'm constantly checking our YouTube page, and I'll check in the morning, no change from when I went to bed. And then I'll check after lunch, and then it's okay, we got 4 more. And then that changes again 24 hours later.
Yeah.
It's just kind of weird. I don't know if you're watching right now, let us know where you're from. I know we have a German watcher. Max.
Wow.
Shout out Max. I'm sure we got a couple people from Iowa, but I'm very curious as to where everyone's coming from, what time zones you're in, because that would, ultimately affect how we release videos and what time we release videos.
True. We'd rather try to get them out when most of our audience is viewing it,
Exactly.
I'm excited though, man. I feel like we're at 85 subscribers. We're at episode 11 of the podcast, so we're a bit under average of 10 subscribers a week, because we're trying to put out 2 videos at least a week, which has been pretty consistent. Maybe we took 1 week off or something, but I think we still put videos out,
Yeah, I think the only time where it was the podcast highlights reel. That was the only time where we didn't have a video, and I didn't want to miss the schedule. So I spent that day just fucking with our old podcast episodes.
Cool. So yeah, we have put out 2 videos a week, and if that means episode 11 here, so we're up to at least 22 videos.
I think so, yeah.
Wow. That's pretty exciting, man. And at first, the couple of review videos we did, we didn't really know what we were doing, and these last couple, man, are genuinely funny.
I'm having so
dude.
much fun with the review videos, and I'm having so much fun editing the review videos too.
Like I was trying to show my dad the channel at first. And he's like, "What are you guys trying to do here?" You know, like he didn't get it. And then now he's like, "Oh, dude, you have your own show right now. You know, you could just do whatever you want."
Yeah,
you know?
dude, that's what's fun about it.
Well, yeah. We're kind of, you know, going with a bit of an easier route, kind of using other people's content and commenting on it. But I really want to get some skits out there too, man.
For sure.
We're trying to get this channel established, but it's going to be really exciting. Like when you guys start seeing some funky skits that we do, man.
Yeah. Once.
Speaking of skits, if you guys please go watch the last podcast, because I think it was my favorite podcast.
Oh yeah.
Because
hell yeah,
I pranked the shit out of Cody of that podcast. All right,
Oh, you're talking about with the popper?
Yeah.
That was
that two ago?
Two ago. That was number 9.
2 podcasts ago was my favorite because I scared the shit out of Cody. All right. He literally tinkled himself a little bit. He didn't tell that in the podcast, but
I thought I had gotten shot for sure.
yeah. His life flashed before his eyes in the podcast. You can see it like 2 seconds. His eyes start rolling like, oh my God.
The growth is very cool to see on this channel because it's like, maybe some people don't know this, but you have a couple YouTube channels. I have a couple other YouTube channels, and I have much more fun with this channel, and this channel grows faster than the other channels, which is like, this is the ideal thing. I'm enjoying it, and other people are too. There's like some validation there.
I made 3 different YouTube channels so far. First one was just my name, and it was just kind of just to almost put out like a cloud storage of all these old videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of them are gold, but a lot of them are just like old jiu-jitsu matches, wrestling matches, or some shit that if I lost my hard drive, that would be like super lame. And I thought, oh, that's just an easy way to keep them on YouTube for free.
Oh, for sure.
Hopefully, you know, that they'll be out there for years to come. Maybe even when I'm dead, like I have this out there, which is another thing we're going to talk about, kind of mind blowing there. But that account it's only got probably about 85 subscribers, like what we got now. And I've had that one for years and years. Never tried to advertise or anything for it, just kind of put those videos out. Then I put out Dumpster Diamonds, which was kind of like, because I started literally dumpster diving, and I was basically watching these YouTube videos of guys going to GameStops and getting all these free games and systems and all this stuff. And not only that, that's all they did. And they had millions of subscribers and millions of views. And it was like, this guy is getting paid to dumpster dive.
Right.
All he's doing is tearing open garbage bags. And you see a couple of games here and there. And this guy's making money. And then a lot of them will end up making another channel, a gaming channel or something else, you know, on the side once they've got one channel big.
Right.
So I was like, I gotta check this out. And not only did I find a lot of stuff at GameStops, but the first night I went dumpster diving, I found a thrift store that went out of business. And they completely started throwing everything away in a big old dumpster behind it. And I just happened to see this thrift store that said like out of business, all that. And I was, you know, searching for a GameStop right by it. And so I look in this dumpster and it's just all, you know, regular old stuff you'd see at a dang thrift store.
Like stuffed cats and old rugs and big hats.
At that time I had my little Subaru Impreza, and I just filled that fucker up with stuff. And then this dude rides by on his bicycle, and there's this big old leather couch right next to the dumpster they didn't throw in there yet. It was actually a beautiful leather couch. Probably could have been a couple $100. And this guy's like, "Can you help me move this couch to my apartment, please?" As I'm in the dumpster, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think he saw I had a car. You know what I mean? He's on a bicycle. And I was like, all right, man. So the first night I go dumpster diving, I actually help out this dude. And I help him put the sofa on top of the Impreza, drive a couple by, follow him on his bicycle. He's just, and we get to his apartments, and it's on like the second floor. I literally help him take the couch all the way to the second floor, like I'm some good Samaritan. And the funny thing here is this is like kind of interesting, but at the time when I was taking the sofa up, I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like this is like a waste of my time, like all this, being very selfish. And then when we got the sofa in the apartment, I look around and there's nothing in this apartment, dude. The man owned nothing. Like he was probably sleeping on the floor. That kind of nothing.
Oh, wow.
Dude, yeah. So then after like I got over my selfish little bitch self, I was like, man, I feel really good. Like I helped that guy get a fucking couch in his apartment. I mean, he had nothing, But that was a random story to tell you that right away I ended up with all this shit, like 2 carloads of stuff, because I went back the next night and got another carload. And I got, like, for example, I got this like Sega Genesis handheld edition, like the first one that came out.
No way. And a Game Gear, I think is what it's called.
They sell for like $200 to $300 now.
Yeah.
They're very old vintage. And
dude, that's
that was
fucking
like,
sick. Do you still have that?
Still got it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was like one of the first things I pulled out, and a bunch of the other shit I ended up just like throwing into like a yard sale. I just kind of, it was kind of just junky kind of stuff. But
you tell a beautiful story about helping a man with nothing bring a couch into his second floor apartment, and I fixate on the Game Gear.
Oh yeah,
I don't care about
it. Well, I bring it up every time because it really addicted me to dumpster diving that night.
Of course,
you know what I mean. Like not only did I find a bunch of cool shit, and I helped the random dude.
It's was like when you go into the casino and you like pull the lever for the first time. Somehow they fucking know, and like you win $200. And now they have a lifelong customer.
It's like that, but then I also like tipped a homeless guy afterwards. Like it's like both ends of the spectrum felt my soul felt better, you know what I mean? So after that, I was going to dumpster diving every night for about 2 or 3 months, every night. And then I kind of figured out when the good drops would be and how often the fucking dumpster trucks would come, because I wouldn't want to come a night when there's nothing there.
Of course.
So then it turned into every Wednesday and Sunday night I started dumpster diving, because those were
interesting.
Because Thursday and Monday mornings early is when the dumpster truck came. So I kind of then Wednesday and Sunday night for a little while still I was dumpster diving, just mainly GameStops. And I was finding tons of games and game cases. Well, they would like throw the cases away, and they just sell the used game in the store. Wait, I don't like. It was the weirdest thing, man. So every night I'd end up with 10 game cases, and I listed all of those on my eBay store, at least $5 a piece, sometimes $10 to $30 a piece.
Dude, I was about to
say, for just a case.
I can tell you my anecdotal side of that. I used to collect video game consoles and video games that were like kind of retro. But when I moved here, I sold everything.
Yeah.
But the one thing, like the one like part of my video game collection I couldn't sell was my Pokemon games. And it's very easy to find a Pokemon game cartridge for like a DS or something like that at a yard sale or at like maybe a GameStop or like some secondhand video game retailer, but it's always just a fucking cartridge. Yeah. And I want the complete thing.
Case, manual.
So I've bought more cases off eBay than like the actual video game itself.
That's funny too, because all like the Pokemon game cases, I still have them. Like I never really listed those.
Right.
And there's been a couple times where I found the cartridge and added it to it.
Dude, there are cases, like off the top of my head, I think what's really popular right now, because Shining Diamond or Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl just released. Yeah. The Pearl, Diamond, and Platinum for the DS. Those game cases are selling for like $40 a piece right now.
I have
a fucking case.
I have a couple of those too.
Right, yeah.
And I never sold those ones because I'm personally a Pokemon fan, and it might just be an easier, cheaper way for me to get a hold of the game and have a complete game later.
Of course.
And I was doing that for a minute too, because I had all these cases. I was buying lots of DS games, 20 games at a time, and I'd get like 5 of my games filled out and sell them complete. Right. But then eventually I was just like, people still want the cases, so. And then, like you said, like sometimes I get these really rare games that I could sell just the case for $20-$30.
Yeah, definitely.
And so just those game cases alone is what started an eBay store for me, because I didn't know what else to do with them, and it's pretty tough to sell that locally. Like, there's a rare chance that somebody around your area is going to want that random case. So that got me into eBay, and not only that paid for my first store, because you'd have like a monthly subscription kind of, and the first store is only like maybe $30 a month, and now I'm on like the next level up, but I still have those cases around. It's still paying for my eBay to this day, and I don't dumpster dive really much anymore, except at my storage unit facility, because I store stuff for eBay. I have 2 storage units, one that's got stuff that's listed and another unit that's just full of stuff that's unlisted.
Right.
And one of these places, they don't do like storage unit auctions. They just throw it out if you don't pay. So I'll show up sometimes and the dumpster is just full of stuff. And that's like where I found that stamp collection I was talking about a week or 2 ago. Like,
right.
I have a problem collecting things because I'd find this shit, and I have no problems getting rid of that stamp collection. I'm just assuming that I'm going to get a decent buck for it someday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all those stories aside, was the reason why I started the Dumpster Diamonds channel as well, because when I was getting into eBay, I started watching YouTubers trying to learn how to ship, learn all the ins and outs of eBay, all the tips and tricks. And I saw people on YouTube making a living just doing that, talking about what they sell on eBay.
Yeah.
So I put that Dumpster Diamonds YouTube channel out, and that channel really hit off. That one's got almost like 150 subscribers on it. And I was just uploading for about a year. And then I was putting out like every month what I sold on eBay. And then like I started buying bulk orders from different places and putting those videos out, like bulk returns, and getting all these video games
I saw some
and game
of those,
controllers.
For sure, yeah.
Those were awesome, man.
That's such an interesting thing where there are websites that auction off returns. And I remember you had a video up and it was just like controller, charger, like so many things. And you were like giving out chargers to all your friends because you had so many at one point.
I'd buy these boxes for like $300 or $400 a box, and it'd have like 3 Nintendo Switch controllers and 4 or 5 Xbox controllers. And
oh yeah, I remember testing all your Switch controllers one day.
Yeah, I didn't have a Nintendo Switch, which I ran into a little hurdle there when I was buying those big boxes. Like, I started listing stuff, and then sometimes I get it back and like, this shit's broken, and then I realize, oh dude, I probably have to test this shit.
Definitely, yeah.
It's not all new. Like, sometimes it looks new, like it looks like it's new in box, and then turns out the headphone wasn't working in it.
I remember.
Something.
I think I tested 3 controllers for you, and one of them just didn't work for whatever reason. But
a $300 or $400 box, and 2 of those dang Switch controllers sold for $70 a piece.
Exactly.
I got an Xbox Elite controller that was $150, and there's a bunch of other stuff in there. And so, anyways, that channel really hit off, and then
real quick, back to the storage thing.
Oh yeah,
we had talked about storage auctions a little bit beforehand because you were telling me a story about. Like back when you were in college, you won a storage auction.
Yeah, I bought one back in the day.
I started looking at Denver storage auctions because I thought, what a fucking fun idea for a video where we bid on a storage auction, we win it, and we take the camera and we go through all the shit.
Yeah.
And I have the truck and trailer for like my my trash hauling business. So the way I think about it is, to take it all to the dump, it would cost us $110. So that plus whatever the storage auction costs, like, could we go in halfsies on that for a video?
Sure.
And like try to find some gold.
Yeah.
There's some really cool, like, just random shit. I was watching Critical, Charlie Penguin Zero on YouTube. He just uploaded a video where he won a storage auction, and it was the only time he's ever done it. That's like not what he does on his channel. Right. It was just for fun. And the storage unit belonged to someone who worked at NASA. Whoa. And he was an avid collector of sports cards.
Oh, dude.
So they got this fucking storage unit filled, and this guy kept shit pristine. It was just binders and binders and binders of like, there was a whole like several pages of Michael Jordan.
Did he have any idea when he was bidding on it, or was it just boxes?
It was just boxes, and wow. I think they might have saw like, I don't know. It was just boxes, but there were other things like a case that said NASA on it, and those sell for a lot. And there was shit that like talked about the missions he helped work on.
Wow.
It was super interesting. And Charlie, the YouTuber, he's a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah.
So he knew immediately when he saw the sports cards, like, oh fuck, we're in it now.
I'm trying to get a hold of a Yu-Gi-Oh collection right now that's coming from my girlfriend's uncle that bought a storage unit full of cards.
Oh shit.
But he only cares about sports cards. And he has, apparently, I haven't seen this, but he has this crazy collection of sports cards. And he bought 2 different storage units in his life. You know, this has been the past 10, 15 years. And both those storage units were owned by previous card shop owners.
Whoa.
And, you know, maybe I think both times he said that both of them didn't really have like anything in there that was like crazy money. But what he did was, it was a lot of bulk cards. And so what he would do is he would find people that had the card he wanted, the Jordan rookie, whatever bullshit it was, and he would trade him a bunch of bulk for it. You know, your card's worth $100. I got 200 worth of bulk here.
Okay.
You know, boom. So now he's got this massive collection of really good PSA graded sports cards.
Oh shit.
And he's just made a great deal on it because he was trading all these old, you know, just really nice sets of cards, complete sets. And he came to me with like the whole first 2 or 3 sets of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but it was definitely minus the cream of the crop. There was no
blue eyes, dark magician, red eyes.
There was like one dark magician,
Ooh.
One red eyes, but there was no like Exodia, and there was no like, I can name some of the really, really top tier ones, and maybe like the first 10 top tier cards weren't in it, but there was like 3 copies of every other holographic in the past 3 sets. I'm trying to get a hold of that right now, but I'm definitely down to bid on some storage units. I only did it once, and it worked out great for me. And I mean, you could definitely lose money too, for sure.
Right. I mean, some of the storage, some of the shit I was looking at was like, I mean, it was clearly just junk, like a mattress and a single couch or something like that.
The other storage unit that I use, they do use a website and do auctions. He told me what the website was. I can't remember. But it got brought up because a couple weeks ago I went in and they were clearing out a whole unit. And they said they put it up on auction, but nobody bid on it. And the crazy part was they were like trying to organize it and put it into 3 other units of what the shit was. And there was one full unit full of like snowshoes. And this guy had the weirdest shit in his fucking unit, man. But he had 100 pairs of snowshoes, and he had like 50 inflatable like tubes for boating and shit.
Okay.
And then he had like just the most random other junk in this fucking thing, like electrical. Like the dude looked like he was an electrician as well, but he also like I don't know why he had this. Anyways, we can make that happen, man. I actually was going to look up this website he was telling me about and keep an eye on it, because it's not very often, but every once in a while, the one that I go to has an auction on it. Anyways, we're telling all these stories about dumpster diving. I wanted to say that though, because we've made these channels and they definitely had some success, but I've never been more motivated than this channel. And
exactly.
I think this one's going to explode and be monetized faster than all those ones will be, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. The closest, I mean, I have like a gaming channel and I have a channel with my wife. The channel with my wife is like a channel that we made because we moved to a state where we don't have any family, and we thought this is a great way for our family to, like, you know, see what we're up to.
What's that subscriber count up to?
It's like 25.
Yeah.
You know, it's really just friends and family.
Right.
Which is fine. We're not trying to monetize that channel or anything. It was just like a way to help people feel like they're still in our lives. Well, I mean, which they are, sure.
I know we drove away 1,000 miles to get away from you, but trust me.
And then I have like a gaming channel, which I kind of was like trying to upload my Twitch VODs to it so they didn't disappear. And it's like I just gave up on that channel. It's got like 10 subs on it. And then I have my Pokemon channel, which was just card openings. And that hit about 470 subs before I kind of lost interest. I mean, I still open Pokemon cards, but I don't want to do that 3 days a week like I was doing.
Right. When you first opened that channel, you're like, I'm opening cards 3 times a week. Every three videos a week we're opening, man.
And it worked, dude. That channel, it grew pretty quickly, but I mean, obviously, like right now I don't have the storage space for like that many sealed products. I don't have the money to keep buying that shit. I want to just like totally, I've been working on scripts and stuff to start posting to that channel again, but like segue out of the Pokemon stuff and focus mostly on me.
Interesting. Because I mean, I'm at something similar because I started an account as well, Salt and the Sway, and that's, if anything, Salt and the Sway and Dumpster Diamonds are going to be the ones I really try to promote, because just like you said, like I didn't really want to be kind of pigeonholed into one thing. And when I opened Salt and the Sway, it was a lot of Pokemon card openings, and it's not like I don't want to do that.
Right.
But then if I want to put out something about
stocks or
jiu-jitsu or stocks, it doesn't make any sense to the audience. So after, I'm trying to figure this out, but for me, I want to have some financial videos, some stuff talking about eBay and my businesses, my online businesses. So I think that's all going to get pushed over to Dumpster Diamonds. And then Salt and the Sway, I really think it's, it's going to be, I feel like it's just anything that I want to publish. You know what I mean? The Dalton Grinstead account is just a storage of videos. I didn't edit those. They're just what I filmed. But Salt and the Sway, I think those are going to be produced projects always. Even if it's just a card opening, and it's going to be sticking to video games and Pokemon and I don't know, around that genre area, you know?
Dude, like that's the problem. Because YouTube, if you like want to become a YouTuber or something like that, and you try to YouTube how to be a YouTuber, everyone will tell you one thing, and that is focus on an area of interest, and that is the quickest way to grow, which is true, I have found. Like that's why the Dankest Soup YouTube account is pushing 500 subs.
Yeah. But
what that fails to tell you is like, you know, people are dynamic. Like, it's not like all I care about is opening Pokemon cards. Right. So I could still, you know, post 3 videos a day there opening fucking Pokemon cards, and you know, and maybe if I'm lucky in 10 years I'll be Leonhardt, and you know, that dude's making a bag and he's very popular, but I can see the pain in his eyes. Like, that dude is miserable opening Pokemon cards.
Yeah,
and
dude,
he can't do anything else.
It's almost like he's backed himself into a corner now.
It's seriously like, if you want to do a YouTube channel, sure, grow fast and focus on one thing, but that is you're putting yourself in a cell. Like,
for people that don't know, Leonhardt is just like one of the OGs when it comes to Pokemon card openings.
Right.
Been doing it probably longer than most everybody else on YouTube. And he's opened up all the biggest, most expensive packs that are out there already.
Yeah.
He can't go any bigger, really. That's the other thing too. It's like
he hit this. There's nothing else he can do.
He's already maxed out.
He would have to kill.
However, we're saying that now, but he's trying to up himself.
Of course.
By literally starting this pop-up shop. What do you call it? Pop-up?
Pop shop, yeah, I don't know. 90s pop-up.
90s pop-up shop, which I've never heard of people really doing this.
No.
Well, maybe if they did, it would be like some kind of vintage shop, but everything would be hundreds and thousands of dollars for the product.
Yeah.
He's trying to put out vintage product at vintage prices. Just for the people, just for his fans that buy a ticket to it, which I'm assuming the ticket's going to be $5,000.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I don't. This is happening next year. It's happening in Dallas. He's announced it already, and obviously, me and Dalton want to get into this 90s pop-up shop and buy a pack of vintage cards. Which there's a couple really cool things he's doing with it. First thing, if you get into his website on release day and you buy a ticket, your ID at the door when you try to get in needs to match the ticket, which means that's one way to limit bots, right? So like I don't create an algorithm that just buys 30 tickets.
Right.
My name has to match the ticket. The second thing is that when you get there and you buy a pack, whatever you buy, you have to open there.
What?
Which prevents someone from going, no problem. Of course I'm gonna go. I'm gonna buy a vintage pack for $4 and then I'm gonna sell it for $2,000. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's trying to prevent scalpers.
And then another layer, which is really cool, is if you buy a vintage pack.
I mean, technically, you still make a lot of money even on the open pack. But
of course.
Go on.
Well, even more money, even cooler. You buy a vintage pack, you open it there. You pull a holographic rare. Beckett has a stand there that grades and slabs on the spot.
Can I just bring my regular cards in and just get them slabbed up real quick? Because I got a fucking pile, bro.
Actually, that
would make the trip worth it right there.
Beckett does do, I think it's like every Thursday maybe. It's one day a week. You can bring your stuff into their headquarters and get it graded same day. It's crazy expensive, but
where's their headquarters at?
It's in Texas. I think it's in.
Oh wow!
Is it Fort Worth? I don't know.
Interesting. Well, I mean, are you even gonna get your cards graded by the other company? What the fuck? PSA. It's shut down right now, isn't it?
I don't want to talk about it.
Would you consider Beckett, or are you only a PSA kind of guy now? You've always
well.
done
The
PSA.
thing is you need you can't just send it in. You need a membership, right? So I have a membership with PSA, which means I send it in.
Which means nothing because you can't do anything with it right now.
Right.
What is that worth?
They have 6 open orders for me of graded cards, and the kind of nice thing they're doing is every day that goes by, they add it on the back end of my membership, so I'm not losing any days. The problem is that I have a stockpile of cards that I need to get graded, and as soon as they open it in, I'm going to send in 200 cards to get graded, and they're going to run into the exact same problem because there's a fucking million of me.
Yeah.
And the thing where they shut down their company so that they can catch up is only buying them time on paper, because as soon as they open the doors again, they're going to be in the exact same position.
Yeah.
But instantly.
Did you hear that UFC started making sports cards now?
Really?
Yeah, I bought 2 boxes the other day. I'm gonna open them up for I'll film it, opening them up. And what's even funnier too is I know about a handful of UFC fighters out here in Denver. I might be able to get a signed card or two.
Oh, that's sick,
which
dude.
Would be fucking sweet. But yeah, man, I have a pile of PSA cards I want to get graded too, man. And for you, it's even crazier because you got cards you want to sell and try to make some money back. Like that's tough.
Yeah. One of my
you've invested a lot of money in PSA.
Yeah, definitely. I think that
it's worth it though. I mean, you're
right.
You're saving the price of that card.
It certainly was worth it when I was doing it. It was $10 to get a card graded. After shipping and the insurance you buy, that averages out to be about $13 a card. And you can then go on eBay and sell the card for, I mean, if it came back shitty, you're still selling it for maybe $20, so you're making a couple dollars.
For the people who have no idea what the hell we've been talking about for 30 minutes here, it's PSA grades your cards.
Right.
And that grade literally will dictate the price of the card.
Definitely.
It's all out there now. The information's out there. We have the database.
It's protected.
We know this card's this year, this old. We know how many people have been buying it. We know, I mean, the information's out there. So it's much easier to get full value out of a PSA graded card than it is just a regular old card. You're probably not going to get a lot of value out of that.
Definitely. So if you have the card, add $13, you can make a little bit of profit. The problem is that it's no longer $13 after shipping and insurance. Now they've upped their base to $20. Shipping and insurance, you're looking at $25 to get a card graded, and it's like
that's got to slow the process down a little bit, man.
Definitely,
it's got to get
definitely
got to take a lot of people,
a lot of
less orders.
I remember maybe the last TikTok I made, or a couple TikToks ago. I laid out all of my cards that I was about to send to PSA, and I was like panning over them, back over them. And I was like, future PSA submission. That's what the caption said. And somebody commented, "Oh, you're still using them? Like, it's still worth it to you?" And I said, "What do you mean? Of course it's still worth it, you know."
PSA or what?
PSA, okay. Yeah. And I was like, "Yeah." And I laid that whole thing out. I'm like, "It's only $13. I can sell this card for $30, da da da." And he's like, "No, bro, it's $20 now, minimum." And we got into this huge, not debate, conversation where he was like, "Yeah, you don't want to use them anymore." And he totally fucking convinced me.
There's definitely a new wave trying to come out right now that's trying to advertise to the other agencies, because why does PSA have to be the only one to tell you that this card is perfect? Why can't Beckett say it's a 9, you know?
Well, I think there's
even other ones too. There's like 3 or 4 other little companies trying to pop out now and trying to do their own.
That's the thing.
Submissions.
So I've always felt like Beckett is S tier. Like if you can get a Beckett
10 or whatever.
10 black label, which means nothing to a lot of our listeners, that is the pristine card.
The most criteria, basically.
Yeah, this is like the cream of the crop. And then if you get a PSA 10, that doesn't equate. So Beckett's S tier, PSA is like A tier, and then there's like CGC or something like that, which for me feels like not even B, it's a step lower, C tier. And now because the market's so big, there's all these startup grading companies that are trying to blow up. One of which, there's this YouTuber named A Drive, and A Drive does video game Pokemon content, but because he's such a big popular YouTuber, he has, expendable income, and he's able to buy a bunch of Pokemon cards that he loves from his childhood.
Right.
And now he has, I don't know if he's created or funded, he's like a co-owner of a grading company, and he has this big fan base, so he's able to like, I don't know why.
Advertise.
I know what you're trying to say, where it's like, why does PSA and Beckett have this monopoly? It's just because they're trusted.
Right.
They've been around for a long time. Right. They haven't been up to shady shit. And that's why they've earned this prestige. So like anytime I see a new startup, I'm very wary of it because of the WADA controversy, which we've talked about a bit. I don't know if I've discussed on this channel.
Yeah.
but Wada is a pop-up grading company, and Wada, along with an auction house, they worked together to grade things higher than they should have been graded and sell things higher than they should have been sold to hype up the company and the value of video games. So like you can get your video games graded too. So I'm always wary of startups because there is a way to scam your buyers.
Yeah, there's that whole thing that came out about was it Mario game? That was supposed to be millions of dollars or something, and because it was graded by that company.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's unfortunate, and I don't know. Like I'm just trying to like. My biggest thing is, I need PSA to send me my submissions back right fucking now.
Right.
Because I feel like this is just one of those bubbles, and I'm trying to cash out of it before it pops.
Right. I don't think spending $20-$30 per card is going to make a difference, because that money you spent is going to just get added on to the sale price of that card now.
Of course, definitely.
That same card that was ungraded was $30, and now that you have it graded, it's going to be at least $50, even if it was a 6 or a 7 or an 8 or something like that.
Yeah.
Just because you got it graded, and that, so I don't think you're ever going to really lose money.
Exactly.
In my opinion, I don't think it's that expensive yet, and if it was, I think it would just be added. It would just be added into the dang price of the card.
I tried to figure it out one day, and PSA right now is holding, for me alone, around $15,000 of cards.
And the building mysteriously burns down, and all
that's
those
what
cards
I'm saying.
disappear.
I'm like, just give me those fucking cards. Luckily, they're all insured.
Did you hear about Joel Osteen?
And the money in the bathroom? Money in the bathroom?
A couple of years ago, he reports to the police that $600,000 has been stolen from the church.
Yes.
And then a janitor comes through and like finds a shady wall or some suspect wall.
A plumber had been called in because they were having some plumbing issue, and he had to cut into the wall, and he finds all this cash, and he reports it to Crime Stoppers, which thank Joel Osteen's God he did, because it was the $600,000 that Joel Osteen had claimed had gone missing.
Yep.
And right now there are no accusations being made, but that dude is fucking hiding money.
First of all, like everybody's got trash talk for him for owning 3 fucking jets, and you're
these
taking
televangelists
the
are like literally the devil, and they have cultivated a cult who see them as prophets, and it's fucking insane to me.
Help me spread the word. If Jesus had a jet, he could have spread his word faster.
We got to do a video on televangelists, dude. Oh my God.
We're going to definitely do a review video on them. Well, I just sent you one the other day of a crazy televangelist that was making fun of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Mewtwo with the devil horns. He always has the devil horns up, as you can see.
He has 3 fingers. So dude, ridiculous.
He was really digging, man. But oh shit, I forgot what we're talking about.
We were just talking about how Joel Osteen got caught with $600,000 in his church walls.
The weird part about that story, though, is you'd think if Joel did it, he wouldn't have anybody messing around with those fucking walls, right? Unless it was somebody, Joel's way up here, and this is like some like maintenance manager. It's like, yo, I got to get a plumber in here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Maybe I see that. Like, then Joel finds like, you fucking ordered a plumber. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
dude, I think that. Even if.
Who else would do it though, man? Like,
okay,
wouldn't you keep the money? You wouldn't store it in the fucking church.
That's the thing, right? So Joel is the head of this operation. Okay.
Right.
He's the talent. So I can believe that face. Maybe he didn't like personally put the money in the walls of this place. Maybe there's like a property manager who did this.
It could have been some lower level people. Yeah.
So I think the problem is
you can't prove it.
Well, the problem is that this establishment, this place that is a church and claims to help people, is able to have $600,000 come in and disappear. And that, I mean, that's some indication on how much money this tax-free business fucking makes.
Imagine how much money these guys make tax-free.
Right.
First of all.
So let's say
the guy's got 3 jets.
Let's imagine for a second that it's the property manager or like whoever's supposed to manage the grounds and stuff of the church. They're seeing $600,000 come in every Sunday. And then just one Sunday they go, fuck it, I've prepped this room. I'm going to hide it all in there because I can't just put it all in my car. There's too much.
How are you making $600,000 every Sunday and you don't have cameras all over that fucking church?
I don't
Especially around
understand.
The money.
I don't understand
no
this,
sense.
dude. It doesn't make any sense. But to the point is,
who did it?
Who did it? And whoever did it, I think the reason they did it and like had to hide it in their place of business is because they can't leave with all this cash. So maybe like every couple weeks they're just like taking like a couple grand. You know what I mean? Like
I think it was all there though. I think it was exactly what was stolen. That's the weird part.
That's insane.
It's the weird part. Yeah. I mean, that's why it makes it sound like it was Joel, because why else would you keep it in the fucking church?
Be there, right?
Unless whoever did it was just like, I gotta wait for the heat to die down a little bit, man, before I can start.
Of course, yeah, it's safe in here, and then a pipe breaks.
Anybody associated with the church starts spending a little extra cash, they're gonna get red flag.
Of course,
quick.
yeah.
So that's who knows, man? What a mystery. I'm gonna say it's Joel.
Right. I can't wait till I find out who it is.
But then again, if it is Joel, you're already fucking stinking rich. Why would you need another 6? You're getting money every week. Why would you care? I think it is a lower level dude.
I think it would have to be 1, and 2, I think like nothing's going to happen to this person. And nothing is going to happen. I hope that like they don't let up. I hope they find out who it is, and I hope that they like crucify him. But I don't think that's what's going to happen.
I mean, honestly, I don't think you get in that much trouble. It's embezzlement, I guess. So you would get some jail, but
yeah, definitely.
People rob banks. People rob 20 banks and only get a year or 2 of fucking prison.
But I also think like the whole atmosphere of like the televangelist, and they've cultivated a good white Christian community. Nothing happened to the person that took the money. And it should be the exact same punishment as if somebody like were to rob a bank or, steal $600,000 in any other way.
I wish it was somebody like some V for Vendetta guy is trying to fight the system and fucking take all the money.
That would be the shit.
I know, and give it to the people.
If fucking Joel Osteen just like had his money robbed for a day and it was a YouTube video of someone lighting it on fire, that'd be the fucking shit.
That'd be great.
Oh my God. That's it though. That's our podcast for the day. I don't know what we talked about, but it felt good.
There's something that's been annoying me though. I feel like we need to talk about it.
Go on.
Something you brought up a couple weeks ago. It's been in the back of my head. And we were talking about the ancestral tenets. And one of them was not to wear cologne. And I obviously said I'd have probably a little bit of trouble with this because I wear cologne every day. And then right away you were like, why would you wear cologne? I would rather be absence of smell than have cologne on.
I stand by that.
Now, do you feel the same about a woman?
Yes.
Now, I think you're wrong. Okay.
I was trying to end the podcast, but now I feel like we're about to fucking debate.
Here's the thing.
I
can easily prove you wrong on this.
Go on.
Okay. I guarantee there's been times in your life where a female has walked by, you didn't even look at her, and you smelled her, and your fucking dick got hard. You're like, I just fell in love, I think. And then you look at the woman, and you're like, oh, that's a fucking catfish octopus. But just
catfish, octopus.
But just the smell of her, and whatever that there's some sort of hormonal fucking thing in us, man.
Okay.
That just the smell of her attracted me to her.
And you're saying that's because she was wearing Chanel No. 5 and it smells...
I don't know what... There's only a couple out there that just... You're like, what the fuck was that, man? That smelled amazing.
Okay, so...
It smelled like doll pussy.
I'll tell you this. I don't like when a girl puts on a lot of makeup.
True.
Honestly, I don't really like any makeup. Like, I'd prefer you to not wear fucking makeup. I'm trying to like I go for like maybe a naturally beautiful. I don't want her skin tone on her face to be different than her arm because it's just concealer.
Right.
All over down to her neck where you can see like the obvious line where she stopped.
Yeah, without the makeup, she looks like a zombie or something.
Right. And I think that I feel the same way about smell. Like, you're right. There have been creepy moments in my life where a beautiful girl has walked in.
She doesn't even have to be pretty, man. I swear to God, it's just the scent sometimes.
That's not the case for me. For me, it's more like, oh my God, she's beautiful. And maybe, dear God, why... this has to be said because of what we're talking about. And some guys will know what I mean if they're creepy enough, I guess. But like,
what her feet smell like?
she's pretty enough, and like maybe you'll lean in or like try to like fully immerse yourself in this person. So like
and then ask her how much her underwear costs.
Exactly. But I don't want to smell a perfume. I want to know like. I think I don't know. It's like such a primal, like the smell is such a primal attraction. I think rather than going, I want her to smell good, it's I don't want her to smell bad.
True.
I don't want her to smell like Chanel, and I don't want her to smell like ass. Right. I just want to know what that smell is. You know what I mean? Like, it's more of an assessment rather than...
I think there's some deep down hormonal things with just the scent of the human as well.
Right. But I don't want it to smell like fucking that
like a fish
big
shop
bottle of spray you get at Victoria's Secret and they douse themselves in it. I fucking hate that.
There's definitely... And I don't want you can easily overdo it.
I worked with a guy at my last place who is one of my really good friends. We still talk. And I always made fun of him for using cologne. Always. Because, dude, he would fucking... and the worst part was he doesn't anymore, but he used to smoke cigarettes. So he would smell like cigarettes and cologne. And it's like, dude, you're not masking that scent.
No. It's just a weird so
smoky I always associate a cologne or a perfume with... I'm trying to cover up something wrong with me.
Right.
And that freaks me the fuck out. So I stand by that. I'd rather you and my wife not smell like anything than smell like cologne or perfume.
I don't know, man. I think not only are you more attracted to people who smell better, but I think you would also leave a more lasting impression on people if you smelled better. If you have some smell that somebody's like, wow, they're going to remember you now. I remember that guy. He had the fucking good cologne.
Shut the fuck. Listen, buddy. If you live a full...
They're not going to remember you if you didn't smell like anything.
If you live a full life and you die and your obituary says... Yeah, this dude smelled like Armani.
Fucking Armani.
That's all you fucking get? That's what you were remembered for? Then you lived a shitty life, and a good thing you're dead.
Do you watch Gordon Ramsay at all?
Yeah, of course. I love him.
I've been on a kitchen nightmare tear lately, which I've seen a lot in the past, but right now I've been doing it while I'm like watching or doing eBay stuff. And that guy, like half those episodes, the women in there are like, he smells so good. And then I looked up his cologne, obviously, like right afterwards. I'm gonna go buy some. Yeah,
you're a lunatic.
I know.
You're a
But I want to smell like Gordon Ramsay.
Well, you know what?
I swear to God, he's got like 50 women on that show saying he smells good.
I admit that I'm probably in the wrong here. Okay?
It's been annoying me for weeks. I'm like, there's no fucking way that makes any sense. You don't want to smell bad. I get it.
I don't want you to smell good either. I don't want you to smell like anything. I don't want you to fucking smell. I
think what you don't want
it's an assault on my senses.
Right. I think you just don't want overdoing it. Or covering up a shitty smell, I can understand too.
Right.
You can't cover up shit with perfume. You still smell like shit.
Maybe it's like I have main character syndrome, and that's why I don't like music, and that's why I don't like people to smell. I don't want anything or anyone to interfere with my fucking, video game I'm playing. Or, this movie I'm acting out. I don't know. I just don't. I don't want anything encroaching, and those things encroach.
Comment below if you think...
if you think that I'm a fucking lunatic and I should be hung for my atrocities.
Now, if you would have told me you don't want to wear cologne because of the ancestral tenets, I understand it. Now I'm 100% in. Whatever the bullshit you just said for the last 20 minutes doesn't make any sense to me.
20 minutes.
I'm right. You're wrong. Nana boo boo. Stick your head in doo-doo.
All right. Everybody, thank you for watching the video. Please don't put on cologne. I've said it once. I'll say it again. It smells like you're trying too hard. So fucking stop.
If you're not wearing cologne, you better be eating liver raw. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Goodbye.